It is Sunday morning. We love to do our weekly weather updates every Sunday. Typically around 11. We decided to do it at 11:30 here for today, but you see that we have a lot of showers that are moving on from west to east. Some of those heaviest showers right now into portions of Cherokee County. Those are going to continue to impact us here as we head throughout this latter part of the morning and throughout the afternoon. Let's take a look at what we have going on as far as our tower cams are concerned. Again, this is Sunday at 11:30. You may be watching this at a little bit of a later time, but we're going to be talking about the forecast here and what you can expect ahead of time in just a moment. First of all, these current conditions we like to get out of the way for everybody watching live. Out there across DeKalb County and Arizona Avenue, you see that we have a lot in the way of cloud cover. Still a lot of cloud cover too as we look out from portions of Midtown and downtown. Notice how towards the airport, some of those showers maybe just off to the west could be impacting some delays. Looks like we are running at a 45-minute delay right now at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. And again, some of that rain and the thunderstorm activity we have off to the west, maybe that's impacting that by just a little bit. Looking out towards Truist Park, you see that we do have some dry conditions out there for right now, but we may have a little bit of rain later on. The Athletics are in town and they're expected to take on the Braves at 1:35. The forecast again showing some scattered showers and storms that could be possible. May end up with a few delays there. I think we'll still be able to get in a full baseball game, but again, a couple of delays could be possible from some of this rain. So radar does show the shower activity again passing through, putting everything into pause. You can kind of see where the heaviest of the rainfall is, kind of north of Cartersville there, stretching up towards Calhoun, moving over towards Canton and central Cherokee County. A lot of heavy rainfall. Then moving further off to the northeast, we have some heavier showers. If you look west on I-20, not so much in the way of rain now. A lot of that thunderstorm activity kind of fell apart as it continued to shift off to the east, but we're not done with the rain chances yet. Actually, take a closer look here into far north portions of Alabama. You already see a little bit of light shower activity that's trying to kind of reform there back towards the Decatur and Huntsville region, and that's going to be moving in our direction. Looking at dew points, you know it is a lot more humid out there for today. Dew points right now sitting in the 60s. Remember, they were in the lower 50s, upper 40s yesterday. When we're talking lower 50s, upper 40s, we're talking about pleasant, comfortable conditions, really nice outside. But again, we're back in the 60s, back on the humid side of the scale. We are going to stay that way all this next week. Take a look at those dew points, even getting near 70 there on Wednesday. Very humid air mass expected to show up here, which is more typical as we head into the summer months, like where we are at now, right now in the June time frame. Yesterday was a real treat. If you were up early Saturday morning, the dew points were so low. It was a beautiful start to the day. But again, we can only enjoy drier conditions like that when we're in our summer months for so long. Looking at the 11 Alive app, a great tool to have here as we head throughout this next week because we have a ton of rain chances in the 7-day forecast. You're going to see that here in just a moment. It'll be good to have that 11 Alive app because look at the top of the screen. You get live looks at the radar whenever you're on the go, which can be a great tool to have whenever we have the shower and thunderstorm activity moving through. Notice as we head throughout today, again, off and on showers and storms. That's the real hourly forecast that you're seeing there on the screen. Off and on scattered showers and storms are going to be pushing on through. Not constant rain, but again, it is going to be a day where you're going to want to have an umbrella with you. Temperatures into the lower 80s for highs, not too hot by any means. That's actually a little bit below average for this time of year. You also want to make sure you download the Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV app, the 11 Alive Plus app, which is on those devices. It can be a great tool so you can get extra weather and news information like the weather information you're getting right now. We have our special political show on the 11 Alive Plus app as well. That is on every Sunday at 11 a.m. and can be a great tool for you to have whenever we're trying to navigate the political season like what we have right now. And then you see there also on the 11 Alive app where it says watch live. You can watch weather updates like the one you're seeing right now live and also watch whenever we have strong to severe storms possible. Now, thankfully, it's not looking like anything strong to severe this week, but again, we are going to have some wet conditions at times, and that shows up on Forecast Track. Looking at Forecast Track, you see that we have some of that shower activity that's going to be passing through as we head throughout the early to middle portion of this afternoon, and then we move into the overnight hours. We are going to start to see those rain chances go down. At least for the early part of the evening, we'll still have some showers out there, but it will be drier by the time we get closer on towards midnight. Moving into Monday morning, this is 7:30 a.m. We'll start off the work week dry, but it won't stay that way for the afternoon. Isolated showers and storms are expected to start to pop up by the time we get to 1 p.m., and they'll continue to kind of hang out even all the way through 4, 5 o'clock. A few isolated showers and storms before we end up with some drier conditions moving back in overnight Monday night to Tuesday. Now, Tuesday morning, we start off dry, and then we get a lot more rain activity. We're kind of in an unsettled pattern right now here for North Georgia, which means isolated to scattered showers and storms possible each afternoon. But the good news is, again, we aren't expecting anything severe, just some heavy rainfall at times. This is Tuesday by 9 o'clock. Look at the heavy rain that we could have along Georgia 400, down all the way down through Atlanta and then stretching down I-75 closer to LaGrange. Could be a good amount of heavy rainfall passing through. And then on Wednesday, while it looks like it'll start dry, we still have some significant chances for rain. Now, right now, you see the rain chances down at a 40% chance Tuesday and Wednesday. There is some uncertainty in this forecast. I'm not going to lie to you. We have some uncertainty, unfortunately, because we do have this unsettled pattern. You may end up seeing some of these percentages, these rain chances, change over the next few days a bit. You know, we had to bump up today's rain chance to a 60% chance because we had that rain move through this early this morning, and then we had some more showers that are going to be possible this afternoon. So again, there's going to be some periods where we head throughout this week where you're going to see some of those numbers change because it is kind of a complicated forecast because it's not really super organized rainfall. Like whenever you have a big push of shower and thunderstorm activity through a big cluster of storms, it's all kind of popping up over us, similar to a summertime pattern where we get afternoon thunderstorms possible. So again, or is something that we're going to keep you updated on throughout the week ahead. Speaking of summertime pattern, upper 80s expected to return to the forecast Tuesday through Friday. Temperatures back into the upper 80s. It's also going to be way humid. We're talking about dew points again back into the upper 60s, lower 70s. We talked about that a little bit earlier on. Very humid out there, very hot. Temperatures well above average. Summertime pattern, full swing expected as we head throughout the middle portion of this next week. Looking at the extended forecast track, you see what I'm talking about. Look at the southeast, dealing with all those showers each day. It won't be as widespread as what this one weather model is trying to show. This one weather model has trouble kind of locating the exact spots where rain could occur, so it kind of spreads it out across a larger area. I think that's the best way to explain it there. So it won't be as widespread as what this weather model is showing, but again, could have some heavy pockets within some of those dark greens areas, especially on Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday. Some of our models have now pushed back on rain chances. We still have a slight chance for rain in on the 7-day forecast. You're going to see that in a moment for Friday and Saturday, but you may see that change over the next couple of days as confidence begins to grow on what we can expect here for the end of next week and into the weekend. Looking at the amount of rain that we've had so far for this year, again, we are well above average, more than 5 inches above average for this time of year, but we are behind for the month of June. Of course, it's only the second day of the month, right? But no rain in the rain gauge yet, at least from the National Weather Service. And then you see there from May, we ended up behind average, but we're still well above average because of how wet it was for March and April. We dealt with so much rainfall there that, again, we aren't hurting for it right now. No drought in North Georgia, and really much of the southeast not dealing with any drought at all, thanks to all the rain that we've all had here over the last couple of months throughout the southeast. And of course, it's been very wet out there. Typically, things start to get a little bit more active out here in the tropics whenever we move into June. June 1st is the beginning of hurricane season in the Atlantic Basin, runs all the way through November 30th. The average peak of the season, typically around September 10th, so things typically do start off quiet for the Atlantic hurricane season. Right now, there's no change for tropical development over the next 7 days, but this is the forecast from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, calling for 17 to 25 named storms. 8 to 13 of those could become hurricanes, and 4 to 7 of those could become major hurricanes. This is actually the most aggressive forecast that NOAA has ever released at the start of a hurricane season. So that lets you know they are predicting a well above average season and could even be a historic season. Hopefully not. But you know, you always have to remember too, it could be 17 to 25 named storms that all stay out to sea. That's what we would hope for, right? Ones that don't hit land. but it only takes one for it to really be considered an active season for you. Let's say if you had property down in Pensacola or over towards Charleston or anything like that, if a hurricane were to hit those places, well, you would consider that an active season, right? Because then you have things that you have to worry about from that. So again, it only takes one. Just make sure that if you have any property that are along the coastline, that you go ahead and make sure that everything is ready in case a storm were to impact us. Looking out in the tropics right now, again, I mentioned it earlier, but there's no chance for tropical development over the next 7 days. That's the good news. Here's a look at your Atlantic tropical cyclone names. Alberto would be the first name on the list. We would then go all the way down to William. That is only 21 names. If we end up with more than that, more name storms, then we go on to a supplemental list of names. Your 7-day forecast now back here at home. Again, showing that increased chance for rain for today. We have a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms Monday. Back to scattered showers and storms Tuesday and Wednesday. We may end up seeing those rain chances change a little bit for the middle of the week. Again, it depends on what the models show as we continue our way throughout the next couple of days here, and confidence continues to build for that time frame in the forecast. And then you see for Friday and Saturday, just slight chances for rain. Again, you may see that change as well, depending on how that front ends up moving through for the end of the week. Looking at your 8 to 14 day outlook, it looks like we could be around average to below average for temperatures. That would be around the lower to mid 80s for this time of year. So looking beyond the 7-day forecast there, we were just looking towards the middle of the month of June. It does look like we will trend a little bit on the drier, or a little bit on the cooler side rather. And as far as the rainfall is concerned, we'll be trending around average for rainfall. So maybe not as much. This isn't typically our wettest month of the year, but it could be some damp days and some dry days, so a good mix, looks like, as we head throughout the middle of the month of June. Then your Peach State outlook, looking like we will have some shower and thunderstorm activity possible across parts of the state here. It's really going to be especially for far north Georgia, where some of those better rain chances are going to be here as we head throughout the next few days. And then finally, your weekend getaways for next weekend. If you're trying to plan that trip, here's a quick look. I talked about that front moving through. It is going to make some spots a little bit drier. Could be having some better conditions in some spots, so that could be good news, something that we'll keep a close eye on, but maybe a little bit of rain up towards Gatlinburg. So I'll bring back up the 7-day forecast. I hope everybody can have a wonderful week ahead of them. We'll, of course, have another one of these weekly weather updates coming up on Wednesday, and we'll keep you updated on everything anytime in between right here at 11 Alive.